to Omar Siddiqui Live!
Oh, thank you. You guys are always way too kind. Well, everybody, welcome to Omar Siddiqui Live here. We got a very special show for you today. Today's show is all centered around the life and the works of the great Renaissance thinker, artisan. He did a tremendous amount of things. The man, the legend, Leonardo da Vinci. And today, we're going to start off, we're actually going to give you a little backdrop, give you a little what his life was like, Leonardo da Vinci. We have a special Renaissance historian here, and he's going to tell us about, backdrop, like I said, of the life of Leonardo da Vinci, tell us a little bit about his works, where he come from, and all that. And the special thing actually is, our Renaissance historian we have here isn't your regular, boring Renaissance historian. This guy is actually Leonardo da Vinci's great nephew. We're going to have him here for you today, and we're actually going to be doing a special auction. Welcome back to the show, and now it's time for our first guest of the night here, our special Renaissance historian here. So everybody, please help me in bringing out Mr. Lorenzo Vincini. So now, Lorenzo, you're our Renaissance historian here for, of course, our show centering around Leonardo da Vinci and how he was a great Renaissance man. Could you start off by telling us just some quick facts about Leonardo, like where he was born and stuff like that?
Yeah, he was born in a small hilly town, Vinci, hence the name Leonardo da Vinci, you know. Yeah, it's by Florence, and then when he was 15, living in Florence, he was hired to be an apprentice of Andrea del Verrocchio, and he worked there for a few years, and then at the age of 30, he moved to Milan, and he was commissioned by the Duke of Milan, Duke Lodovico. And he stayed in Milan for 17 years and painted a total of 6 drawings, or paintings, sorry.
Wait, like you say, in Milan, were those just jobs he had? Because of course we know he painted the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper. Were those things like his spare time while he was in Milan, or did he do those at a separate time? What's that about?
No, he did those later on in his life when he was way more experienced.
So those were just those 6 paintings. Those were jobs that the Duke of Milan had him doing. That
and some of them were side jobs, like painting for churches and chapels, stuff like that. Yeah, and then at the end, Duke Lodovico was taken out of power because France invaded, and he had to move back to Florence. So he lived his life out there, painting, moving to Rome, stuff like that.
Okay, all right.
Pretty good life.
So we came up here, we have a few questions here that's going to help everyone understand Mr. Leonardo da Vinci a bit more, starting off here. So how did Leonardo affect Renaissance history?
Well, he had very many students. He taught students to do very many things, like stoffato, a famous way of painting. I'll explain it later. He was like the leader of the Renaissance. He kicked it in high gear. He started it. He like moved it forward, you could say. And yeah.
Really just started all this. Kick-started all the studies.
Yeah.
All right. So what contribution did Leonardo make to today's world in general?
Well, first of all, one of the things he did, he made like drawings of robots shaped like humans, and they're actually used by NASA nowadays. Really? Believe it or not, yeah. So it's pretty cool. Oh. And he was interested in military, so he had Gatling guns, giant crossbows, siege towers. Very many things that help you win a war.
Okay.
And he also liked flying. This was like one of his biggest passions. He had the ornithopter. He made drawings of planes. This was all based off birds' wings.
Okay.
And he was also very interested in the inside of the human body. He made countless drawings. So they were pretty cool.
So you say that contributed to anatomy and medical fields like that?
The medical field.
All right. So our last question here is, so how would the world be different if Leonardo never even existed?
Well, he was a very curious man, and there were a lot of fields, that were like not very explored. And then he came in and he loved those fields, so he started exploring them, and more people started exploring them, and those fields became bigger and more people enjoyed them. So he started everything. So, like I said before.
So you could say maybe if even Leonardo never existed, you could say maybe our studies in anatomy and maybe military technology, that could be maybe a few years behind, if not decades behind.
Yeah. because he was really ahead of his time.
Oh,
Everything he did,
all right,
ahead
well,
of his time.
yeah, Mr. Vincini, thank you very much.
Thanks
I
for
know,
having me again.
yes, I know I learned something. I hope everyone learned a little bit something. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with our auction.